Dub Nation, what's going on? You're watching Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. First off, just want to thank all of you for continuing to support everything that we've been doing. Picked up 11,000 subscribers over the last calendar month, more than 2 million views, as we've been giving you content and shows every single day as we continue to grow like crazy on Warriors Today. Make sure you join the Dub Nation family here at Chat Sports for the best Warriors news, rumors, and analysis year-round by plugging in that link, youtube.com/Warriors TV, or even easier, hit that red subscribe button down below. We begin today's show with Jordan Poole. He's eligible for a contract extension, and with the way that he played in the regular season, and he had incredible moments throughout this playoff run en route to another NBA championship, he's due for a big payday. The big looming question for the Warriors and Bob Myers: how much is he worth? When are you going to give him that contract extension if you want him? And how does the potential deal of Andrew Wiggins impact the bag that Jordan Poole will get? This coming from Bleacher Report and Jake Fisher, who reported on a lot of these players who are eligible for these contract extensions, including the splash bro Jordan Poole. Strategically, Golden State has every financial incentive to let Poole play his fourth year without a new deal framework. Poole would enter next summer as a restricted free agent, and if he repeats or even improves upon his sizzling production in 2022-2023, the Warriors likely won't blink an eye at rewarding Poole with a maximum deal, solidifying the franchise's bridge into a post-Steph Curry era. If Poole regresses or simply entrenches himself as a strong starter-level player rather than a budding all-star, then Golden State might be able to find an agreement closer to Anfernee Simons' 4-year, $100 million deal with Portland this summer. So there are a couple things at play here. Because the Warriors are paying max contracts to Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and might have to give a max contract or something close to Andrew Wiggins, and because technically they don't have to pay Poole this year, they could elect to wait. He could either increase his value and you might have to pay him more money, or he could decrease his value and you could cut costs and save a little bit with that looming Andrew Wiggins contract extension. So these are the conversations going on at the facility there in San Francisco between Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, Joe Lake of this ownership group, and this entire front office trying to weigh what they should do with Jordan Poole, whose improvement from 2020 to 2021 to this past season was absolutely incredible. You look at the uptick in production for Poole, who was really just making the splash party splash like a large cannonball on a hot summer day 2 years ago. Less than 20 minutes per game as he was going back and forth between the NBA level and the G League level. 20 points per game, less than 2 dimes. The shooting numbers here, what we want to focus in on: 43% from the field, 35% from three. If you remember, after the All-Star break, Steph Curry missed some games, right, and was in and out of the lineup, and Jordan Poole just went off, and then Steph was able to come back and go on that torrid stretch. And then this past year, in the regular season, when Steph was either out or on the bench, you could turn to Poole and he could be your offensive stud. He has the step back, the sidestep, the turnaround, the spin, those herky-jerky moves, unbelievable athleticism, and because of that, a consistent finder, putting the biscuit in the basket. And his production last year, great. Now, is that production going to go up from 18.5 points per game, sub 45% from the field, and 36% from three? If he continues to improve at this rate, then yes, the future will continue to be bright in that post-Steph Curry era. As for what Poole could get, these are some comparable contracts right here. JA Morant, this offseason, back a couple weeks ago, signed that max rookie extension deal. It was worth 5 years, $192.8, which can go up to about $230, $231, depending on playing incentives. SGA 2 off seasons ago, kind of a similar contract, and this was the going rate at that point. Keep in mind, with the salary cap continuing to go up, the deals are getting larger. 5 years, just under $180 million. And then a really good litmus test for what Poole might receive is what Anfernee Simons got. Similar roles, similar offensive players, 4 years, 100. If you sign Poole to this deal right here that Simons got from Portland, I think that's actually a pretty good bargain deal for the Warriors. And we know this about the Dubs. They're paying more in luxury tax than what some other teams are paying on their entire salary cap. Joe Lacob has kind of disrupted the market to a certain degree. And I thought what Colin Cowherd said on his show the other day was really fascinating. You think of San Francisco, right? Netflix, YouTube, Uber, all of those companies have disrupted the market. There is Joe Lacob, the owner of the Warriors, who's like, look, we've made it to the finals 6 times in 8 years. I now have 4 championships. We're going to continue to be aggressive. We're going to continue to pay because, yes, we might be deep in the luxury tax, but we continue to sell out every game. We continue to compete and win NBA championships. We're still making a profit. We're going to continue to go for it and be the disruptor in the market, just like those aforementioned companies. So the Warriors, never scared to pay. I don't expect them to be scared to pay and Andrew Wiggins and or Jordan Poole. We'll get to the latest on Kevin Durant coming up next, but first, want to hear from you in the comment section. Should the Warriors pay Jordan Poole? P for pay, W for wait. Let us know right now in the comment section. We also have a phenomenal sub battle going on inside the walls here at Chat Sports. Back when the playoffs started, Warriors today was at 30,000 subscribers, already nearly 43,000 because of just a historic run throughout the NBA draft, free agency, summer league, and this entire offseason. And we are closing the gap on the Lakers report. Let's put producer Sam Brown in shambles, who really runs our Lakers channel, and take over the Lakers report with subscribers. You want the best Warriors coverage? The solution is simple. Just hit that red subscribe button and join the family here on Warriors Today. As for the latest on Kevin Durant, according to Jake Fisher, little traction between Golden State and Brooklyn on a Kevin Durant trade, which really isn't much of a surprise. And I think there's going to be a little bit of a lull in these conversations because a lot of these executives, coaches, players, for the first time in a couple of off seasons, they have a normal off season where they can actually take a legitimate vacation before training camp, and the 2022-2023 season gets underway in September when training camp comes. KD, we know what he can do. We know that he's a special player. We know that he's one of the greatest players of all time. Is he the best player of this generation? No, that's a rivalry between Steph Curry and LeBron James, but he's damn near close. And in the Bay Area, rocking that Warriors uniform on your screen, he was sensational, and the shooting efficiency really was just premier, elite, and next level. Sub 26 points per game, very good rebounder. He was dishing out a lot of assists because the Warriors have that beautiful system with all that off-ball movement. Shot 52% from the field, and his shooting numbers from downtown San Francisco were just awesome. And we know what KD would be able to bring to the table, but what the Warriors are trying to balance right now is ushering in this next era of Jonathan Kuminga, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody, James Wiseman. 5 players right there, in addition to trying to compete right now. And their current path, their current team-building philosophy has worked with the blend of youth as well as veterans, because why? They just won yet another NBA championship, the 4th under Joe Lacob in this franchise's current tenure. We are on Rumble. We are on YouTube. We are continuing to grow to the platforms that you as the viewers use. So make sure you give us a follow on Warriors TV on Rumble for sometimes exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else. In addition to Warriors news and rumors, you can find sports, news, politics, tech, and business from other online personalities. Rumble.com/Warriors TV. We have about 3,000 followers over there. Add to that number and follow us today. It's rumble.com/Warriors TV. There's also this from Chris Haynes on Kevin Durant. If a trade is possible, would the leaders of the locker room welcome Kevin Durant? According to multiple sources, they would, for the same reason they embraced him back in 2016. As one source said, it's freaking Kevin Durant that we're talking about. Now, there have been conflicting reports about whether or not KD wants to come back to the Warriors. We know that he is cognizant of what other people say in NBA circles. He's somewhat of a sensitive guy, and it would be easy to say that KD would be altering his legacy and impacting his legacy if he were to leave the Warriors after 3 straight NBA Finals appearances, 2 titles, 2 NBA Finals MVPs, goes to the Nets. He thinks that he can be the leader to lift them to a championship and do something that he didn't do in OKC. Instead, the Nets' tenure went up in flames, and that has crumbled as well. So for him to go back to the Warriors, that would have a lot of talking heads talking. And for me, it would be beautiful basketball. I just don't know if the Warriors need to pursue Kevin Durant, and they'd be basically gutting their roster, getting rid of a lot of valuable depth in order to bring KD in. If KD is all about basketball and winning, though, it would be a no-brainer to at least explore a reunion. He's thinking, okay, we could have won 3 consecutive NBA titles if I didn't pop my Achilles and if Klay Thompson didn't go down with that torn ACL. So for him, for the Warriors, if they just want to compete and win the next 2, 3, maybe even 4 NBA championships, 4 might be a stretch because KD is currently 34. Steph Curry getting a little bit older. So too is Klay and Draymond. That might be a little bit of a stretch, but there's no doubt about this. They'd be the finals favorites this upcoming season because KD would make them just borderline unstoppable. And again, we've seen it before. What do you think, Dub Nation? A lot of you get fired up about this. Should Golden State bring KD back? And if you're fired up, I want to hear from you in the comment section right now. Y for yes, N for no. As always, we greatly appreciate your support. If you haven't subscribed, hopefully we convince you to do so.